Alright, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. And today I'm going to try to show you guys how to recreate real-life skyscrapers in Minecraft. So here in front of me we have 405 Lexington Ave in New York City, most notably known as the Chrysler Building. It was formerly the tallest building in the world, standing at 1,048 feet, and it is not just one of the most popular buildings in New York City, but all throughout the world. I tried my best to recreate it here in Minecraft. It's not the exact same, and I'll explain why in a second. It's actually double the size of this in real life. I actually had to scale it down, so this is half of the actual Chrysler Building's size. So we're going to miss out on some smaller details, but the main idea is here. We have the main shape, and I'm going to show you guys how I did that. So first off, what I did was I found the height, which again is 1,048 feet, a very massive structure, and I converted that into meters. For you European people out there, it's going to be a lot easier. So basically, a block in Minecraft is a meter by a meter, so it's pretty easy to figure out how tall a building is in Minecraft in real life. I believe if you wanted to build a replica, like exact scale in Minecraft, the Chrysler Building is like 320 blocks tall. So I'm not sure if you could actually do that. I know they Mojang raised the height limit, but I wanted to save some time and I built it half scale. So it actually turns out to be around 160 blocks starting at the ground level here, which is 4. By the way, this is my super flat world. I test a lot of builds on here, just so you guys know. And I don't really show this off a lot, but yeah, I do work and test some things out, including the Chrysler Building. But yeah, once you find the height, I usually build a tower similar like this, just straight up all the way into the sky to see exactly how big this thing is going to be. So this building right here used to be just a pillar all the way up. It goes about 160 blocks all the way up to the point of the spire you can see up there. And I do that just to try to get a scale of how big this structure is going to be. But after I do that, I need to find the width and the height, or not the height, but the length and the width, I should say, of the bottom floor. It's probably the most important part of the entire thing, because if you don't have the exact dimensions down here, the whole thing is going to be messed up. So to get those dimensions, I actually went on Google Maps, and from an aerial view, if you actually right click, you can actually use a feature which lets you measure things on Google Maps, which I think is really cool. And that helped me get the exact length of the both width and length. For me, it converted it to feet, so I actually had to take that number and convert it into meters, and then divide that by 2 to get the correct scale, and I came out with about 31 by 25 for the Chrysler Building, at least for the bottom floor. And once you get those numbers, you can actually start to pick what blocks you're going to use. I know in real life, it doesn't look exactly like this. I chose diorite and deep slate as the blocks that I used, mainly because they're the most similar in vanilla Minecraft. I know you can probably use texture packs and get a lot better looking blocks, but at least in vanilla, this is probably the best choice in my opinion. We also have a little bit of quartz down here, but there was like some advertisements and stuff on the windows, and I just used quartz for those parts. But yeah, on the first floor here, we actually have some, I believe it's polished deep slate. And if you go on Street View of Google Maps, you can get a lot more detailed view of the bottom floors. And that really helped me kind of design even like the windows on the few bottom floors. I had to use another picture of the Chrysler Building for the upper details, but I did use a lot of Google Maps for the bottom floors, which is pretty important because if you're doing this in survival, which good luck with that, this is going to take a lot of hours if you're trying to recreate like even any building. But getting the details on the bottom floor is important. You're going to spend a lot of time down here. You're going to be looking at this mostly for the entire build. So highly recommend you put a lot of time into getting this as exact as possible. If you look at pictures here, you can see it has a very cool frame to get into the building. The entrance here, it goes in a couple feet, and I try to recreate that with deep slate. Again, it's kind of a triangular like design, so you can't really do that exactly in Minecraft, but I tried my best here. Actually, it's not really a triangle, but it does go in at an angle, you know what I mean? But yeah, we have some signs here. These are showing the dimensions once again, just for like a note for me. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is get those details in if you're building a 1-to-1 scale. You don't need to do like every single like tiny detail, but just like the main structure is the most important part. I'd focus on those later on once you finish the main frame of the entire building, which is another important part of the Chrysler building specifically, because if we go up to the middle section, you can see that the building kind of tears off at some points. You can go up a couple floors and it gets skinnier and skinnier and skinnier, and that's one of my favorite parts about this building, and I wanted to try and recreate that as good as I possibly could here. What actually helped me a lot is I counted the windows. You can see, if you look at the building, you can count every single floor with the amount of windows there are. And since this is a 1/2 scale replica, sorry, I had to divide the windows by 2. So you can see, I think it goes up 7 floors on this tier right here actually. But I had to divide it by 2. Since it's an odd number, I had to go by 4 just because I kind of guessed. I thought that would look the best in this section here. And in the end, it turns out not looking that bad. If we actually take a step back, it does look pretty similar, at least in this section here, to what the Chrysler building looks like in real life, even if it isn't exact. So we did that once again up on this level here. I had to go in another tier. And we get to this section of the building. There's a lot of very small details. I tried to recreate that. I put some smooth stone in here just to show off like the designs that are going on. I guess you call them like the motifs or something. And then we also have these things, which are the gargoyles that you see on the building. The very famous statues that come off of the sides. And I recreated those up at the top as well. You can kind of see them coming off. But once I did that, I had to figure out how tall the main section of the building was. So if you look at the building from far away, you can see that it's kind of split into 3 sections, which is the bottom, the middle, and the top. Of course, the top is the giant spire and the famous designs that are going up there with the stainless steel. But for the middle part, I counted the amount of windows. I forgot, or not windows, but floors. If I counted every single window, it'd probably take me a couple weeks to do that. But I counted the amount of floors, and I think I divided it by 2. I forgot how many floors we have here. Let me count that real quick. So yeah, it came out to about 14 or 15. I don't know if I miscounted there, but I think in real life it's more of a count of like 27 or 28. So yeah, as you can see here, again, I divided it by 2. Sorry, and to try to keep that scale similar to the rest of the building. And once you get to the top here, you can see I really focused on these smaller details, since it's not a very large structure anymore up at the top. It's actually only about 13 blocks wide. I could focus on getting those details a little bit closer to what we have in real life. And up at the top, we don't really have a very shiny gray block. I chose iron here because I think that would be as close as a resemblance to what it is in real life, but probably could have chose a more grayer color. I kind of wish you could get a little bit more detail in here, but that is as close as I could get, at least for my skill level at building. But yeah, we have the spire, and that was it for the Chrysler building. There's a few other things that I would like to touch on, such as these roofs here. You can see I built it out of granite, or polished granite. If you look on Google Maps, the roofs actually look red, and I decided to try to copy that. I don't know why it's red, but just to try to replicate it as close as possible. Google Maps is a great tool for just replicating anything. I know the Build the Earth project, those guys working on that use Google Maps heavily, so yeah. Definitely depend on that if you're trying to recreate skyscrapers in Minecraft. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Good luck if you guys are trying to do this in your Minecraft worlds. It is a very rewarding project, I have to say. It is very fun to look at skyscrapers. I love building these, and hopefully I can do some more of these in the future. I actually have a survival project on my Let's Play where I'm building a city, so I might have to rebuild that there. You guys might have to look out for that in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully it actually helped you out a little bit. Maybe there was something you could take away from this video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next Friday. Peace.